Here we go, everybody. My most recent fight with me providing the commentary, walking out through that misty ice, got a little shake there. So we're gonna have some fun today. This is gonna be really my first time watching the full fight, and I'm just gonna give you my honest reaction to what happens, explain to you everything as it goes down, and we're just going to take a look at this together for the very first time. Now, the follow-up videos, which I'm going to be doing in a couple days, are going to be equally as exciting. I think tomorrow I'm going to do the fight, but reacting to Boss Rutan and George St. Pierre's commentary. I think that'll be fun because I've heard some people say they made some funny references, like referring to me to Hannibal, apparently. But let's look at Tommy right now. Props to this fighter, his record being 1-2. Controversial, apparently, could have been 2-1. Very, very young at 23. And one other noticeable thing is he is a relatively light guy for the weight class. You can see I weighed in at 150 pounds, although it says I'm 5'8", which is not correct. More like 5'10". But for Tommy, he weighed in at 145 pounds. So I probably managed to put 5 pounds back on. So I had about 10 pounds on him in the pit. He took this fight on about 2 or 3 weeks notice because the Karate Combat matchmaker told me they literally went through 10 people. 10 people who said they'd take the fight and then change their mind. So this was a roller coaster of a prep during camp for the opponent. I didn't know who I was fighting. I only had a short period of time to prepare for Tommy before I had my week where I rest up. So really going in kind of blind, and the karate style is something that's a little bit more difficult to deal with. I would have liked time to have prepped, but let's watch this. We knew he would lead off with fancy kicks. He goes for the hook kick. I throw the basic low kick down to the calf, sweep him out. Ground and pound, which is actually a big part of this fight. I only trained, and I'm not joking you, 30 seconds. I pulled a bag out one day and I went, you know what? I should try and throw a couple punches on a bag that is horizontal. Did it for fun. Obviously, when I had my MMA fights, I did a little bit of training for it, but it turned out really well in this fight, the ground and pound, even though I did literally 30 seconds. One of the things with the karate stylists, which you'll note, is they're very good at the backwards movement. When I attack, they are able to maintain good distance, hard to close that distance on them. But they're also very explosive on the way in. Good stance switch there from Tommy, just gets the reaction out of me. It's hard to track these guys. Get his back, slam him down. Little crossface there to keep him from escaping. Knee on belly. At this point, I'm still trying to figure out what to do because, like I said, I did no training for this. So he's fighting his way out. He's probably pretty fresh right now. And I'm just not figuring out yet quite how to pin him down, how to take advantage. I threw a low kick there. He went and lifted, and I missed. 360 out of it. Puts me in a bad position. My brother actually cautioned me on that in between rounds. He said, if you're going to go low, you got to make sure you don't overcommit. That one there, Tommy just, that's the problem with the spinning techniques. You kind of give up your back. If you're not really comfortable in that position, you obviously don't want to do that. So things starting to sway my way a little bit. I really like the feeling in the first round when you know you're in the lead. Again, like we just mentioned, there was a miss there. We had some issues with the ref about these knees because we had a rules meeting and they said, as long as you're not holding the guy and pulling him in, you're allowed to knee. They were very clear about that. We actually had 2 rules meetings, one of which this ref was at. And as the fight goes on, he makes some mistakes, in my opinion, on the reffing. And I'll be reaching out to Karate Combat to try and clarify the rules, but they said if you frame, as long as you don't pull and hold the guy, you are able to throw knees. But I kind of got away from that a little bit because I kept getting warned. Again, a hook kick, which I don't deem as a super effective technique, and he pays the price because I was within his range. I was too close, and it makes it very difficult for him to get any power in that hook kick if you close the gap. So there's the first round. Ref gives me a little warning there about the knees. And obviously I took that round, but the amount of damage that I inflicted was very minimal. I didn't see anything of massive substance land. He didn't land anything of substance on me either. It was just more a controlled round with some throws, some ground and pound with nothing super effective landing. Sometimes when I see the type of work that I'm able to do with the throws and the ground and pound now, I go, oh, maybe MMA would have been a good stylistic sport for me. But obviously, I moved on from that. The jiu-jitsu was very interesting, but it wasn't a love of mine, not the same way that I love the striking. So here we go into round number 2. Such a cool backdrop that they have. Karate Combat is a great promotion. They're building, and they'll definitely continue to grow with the fantastic work they do. Foot on the pit. Again, something I need to prep more for because I could tell he was ready for the push off. That knee right there, I had underhooks, so 100% was not controlling him. And I'm having a little discussion with the ref because that knee hurt him. He actually literally grunted. And now I kind of get away from knees because I've been warned multiple times. I don't want to point off. Like I said, clarification is needed. That was a nice little step there. That actually left me with a bruise on my left shoulder. I still have that right now. Look at the speed that this guy has. And he actually said in the pre-fight interviews that I was too old and he was going to beat me because of that. There we saw a slam of heads. And this is where the blood starts pouring down. And my brother warned me multiple times going into this that Tommy leaps in, and if I was not careful, we were going to have a head clash. He was more warning me for my face, not my head or the top of my head. Good thing I had my chin tucked in this instance. We'll have to see a slow motion replay here. I actually kind of moved into that one. I'm dropping down. Yeah, just the two of us. And I'm always blown away by how often I'm the one who gets cut in these exchanges. I don't even know if I've been in a fight where the other guy gets cut. I don't know if I have super thin skin or what's happening. In my corner there is Crew Lin from House of Champions MMA. He's actually a UFC cutman as well. And he is fantastic at closing up the cuts. My brother has done very good work for me in the past when Lin is not there, but fantastic having Lin in the corner, using some liquid adrenaline. They pull me back in there fast. And I'm really glad they didn't stop it, because that would have been very frustrating. I won the first round, but I don't know at that point if it just would have been a no contest because the fight hadn't gone on too far. There were some comments from people about my hand positioning in the last fight. If I was going to make adjustments, go to less of a high guard, but I still like the high guard. It's obviously not perfect with the small gloves, but it still works. From here, you can tell right away now, I'm a little ticked off at the headbutt situation, and now I'm starting to slam some shots in. I had some pent up aggression that I had to vent out anyway from other stuff. Look at that, charged in with the head right there. That was lucky. That one did actually split me open a second time, but I'm lucky that one wasn't even worse because he just hucked his head in there. Off the back, he puts his foot. Again, we don't have the pit to work with, so I'm going to have to create one, because from there, you need to be able to take advantage. And I thought I could take advantage there as he was high, but I just ended up getting taken down. So far in the first 2 minutes of this second round, things are not going fantastic for me. I had one little moment with some good ground and pound, but trying to get a feel for this guy, his rapid movement. He's a difficult guy to fight just because, like I said, stylistically, I did not get to prep for him. But once he goes down, he has a lot of trouble here, and I'm able to open up. He does a good job initially with his ground and pound of actually covering up, taking minimal damage. We did prep with the idea that those calf kicks would work really well, but I just didn't get enough off. Knee on belly again. The 5-second rule is kind of funny because sometimes he gives me 5 seconds, sometimes the ref jumps in. I feel like it's premature. Again, the rule set is a little unclear. Look at that big hook. That one hit him so hard that he did a 360 off it. You can tell there he's faded, he's fatigued. Like I said, he didn't have a full fight camp to prep. So I did say to him after, massive respect for taking the fight on short notice, especially when so many fighters had 7-8 weeks of possible prep time and still turned down the fight. The reason the left hook landed so well is it was a counter shot, because he's fast. Look at that, he just slams his head in. Yeah, so those counter shots work well because he's fast, but stationary, very hard to get him. But when he moves in and then I throw, there's just so much more chance of being able to land. Just boom, right on the jaw. Look at it, he does a full rotation, 180, and then at the last minute finishes the other 180 degrees to make it a full 360 and have his eyes back on me right away. He was tough. You know, he called me out a number of times saying that, you know, I might be too old and he was going to retire me. And I sort of responded with, I don't know if this guy realizes how hard the top tier guys in kickboxing hit. And that left hook there, he took a hard shot, but he took it well. So props to him. And, you know, he had 3 other fights in karate combat. I was quite impressed with his cardio in those fights. He went fast, didn't slow down dramatically. So, you know, at 23, he just seems like he does have really good cardio. Nice little fake low there. I just connected with the bottom of the foot, another inch or so, and that could have been a really, really dangerous kick to the head. He's doing still a good job, even though he's fallen down. He's doing a good job of protecting the head. And at some point there, I remember realizing that there's no point in just simply attacking the head. I've got to start transitioning down to the body. Little double hand shove there. The knee on belly is unpleasant if you've never experienced it before. If you can drop enough pressure, it is actually quite winding and can really hurt the person. Nice little spinning side kick there. Learning to utilize this pit wall is definitely something I've got to get really good at. Attacking the head, now just digging into the body. Because now he's doing a very, look at that, he's hurt. He's doing a very good job of protecting his head, but you can see me there looking over at my corner. My brother just says, you've got to go to the body, hunt that body. So in there, you just see me slugging away. Even though I can't generate full power because I don't have my legs to twist and I don't have my hips, you can still obviously hurt somebody. That's a lot of impact to take, especially with these smaller gloves. He sure throws fast when he does let go. Again, just slugging away on the head, the body, and the ref stops it. And that's all she wrote. This was a very exciting win for me because I had some personal struggles, personal drama in my life leading up for the first time ever. And it was a scary week for me just because I have an opponent I did not get to prep for. That is scary. In addition, I have all this stuff happening in my life, and getting that victory meant so much to me. I'm glad to have that out of the way. I get to now come home, enjoy Christmas holidays. Obviously, big respect to him there, big hugs. We'll see a few slow motion replays here. And then guys, if you haven't already, make sure you get subscribed so you're getting those notifications when videos like tomorrow, when I do Boss Rutan, George St. Pierre reaction to their commentary, so that you're actually catching all the videos that are coming out. Just a solid performance. I'm very happy with it. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Give the video a like if you did, and I will see you back here soon for another video.